Like, wow, y'all still here? Wow. We sitting in the cool seats. I need you to come up right quick. Come on up. Come on up. Please do. I want to do some quick presentations real quick. Look, you don't go nowhere amongst African people and don't give out something. So we got some things to give out to some folks that are here to recognize them in that space. So
all of it?
Yes. Mom Donna. Mama. Can I have you for a second, please? Donna.
Oh.
She got some bills on the ground.
Come on, Donna.
I gotta say, Mother May I?
Oh.
Yes. I want to take a moment to recognize the cornerstone of the cornerstone institution that we're in, the lifeblood of our revolutionary spirit, these two wonderful sisters here, and on behalf of Refat Nation, on behalf of Liberators, we want to present it forward with this.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, this is awesome.
The spirit of Harriet Tubman, our liberation train conductor, you see embodied in these two sisters here. No matter what challenges have faced them along this way, they have these doors open and welcome us with open arms, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, with that vision of liberation. They embody this. Their families are here. This is a family environment that's here to represent what our great ancestor, Harriet Tubman, was working on an underground railroad. She said, I never let the train get off the track, and I never lost a passenger. So in that mind frame of using our African-centered technology for liberation, a part of it is celebrating. That's right. Honoring. When we lose one, it hurts. Right? When we lose one, it hurts. We had one to represent us in every aspect, and it touched the entire globe. This is how we should feel every time something happens for a moment amongst African people. We take a moment of reflection. A moment. It's natural. In the universe, the planets evolve and they revolve, also go through a regression. Naturally, they go to retrograde, no instruction manual. Nobody say, hey, cheer real quick. In that stage of retrograde, you have a moment of reflection.
You was talking, so I was getting out your way.
No. So this is part of what we're doing. I just wanted everybody to be able to see and to recognize that behind these great institutions that we build, there's always people behind the scenes that work tirelessly, effortlessly. You see what I'm saying? In order for you to see anybody up front, there's somebody working in the shadow. So we want to honor and recognize our elders here, our sisters, our mothers, and our reason and motivation for liberation. So can we honor them?
I want to say that, we truly receive that, and we truly appreciate what you're doing across the country, because it takes really connecting the dots. We built this foundation, but what you do going across the country, and I see you. I see the work that you do, and it is tiresome. It is a lot of work, but I'm just happy that we can be here and continue to go on, continue to fight that, spread that word, spread that information. Because what you just said here, I'm doing 101 things at a time, but I'm listening, and how you connected to this next generation and understanding what they do. This is why you do what you do. It's not, and then it illuminates to them. And so we need to continue to have those. What I don't have, you just gave to a whole nother generation. When they go back and do what they do, now they have an understanding, and it's even more profound, more powerful. So, at the end of the day, I have to salute you and just coming, going, continue, because I know what it's like to be traveling, just being on a circuit, with him, and then you're going on a circuit. Man, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, people. You got to see and support him and push him. And when you have an opportunity, donate to this organization. Because they're doing the work that, trust me, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be done. And then you have to study so you can really share people. And then you're taking on those energy from those different people. So you have to go into prayer and solitude by yourself to deal with some of those energy that you're getting across the nation. Okay. I can get busy. Okay, I'll say.
We gotta get our ballers up here. The ballers, come on up here, ballers. Ballers right up here. I need them up here. I need y'all to reach into this bag here and take whatever button speaks to your spirit. Go on here. Take a moment. Don't rush. There ain't no rush. We're good. Just dig in there. I need you to pick out what's good.
Indeed. There we go.
Now get that round of applause right there. Now we in scriptures. I don't want to focus on TV talking about, man, they set this up. This was some kind of stuff that they put together. Y'all see the bag, they ain't never seen the bag before they walk in. You have to know that your spirit guides you. And if you heed those instructions, it'll guide you to a place that you can never imagine. That's right. This is our society. It's built on family. It's built on honoring our ancestors. It's built on a collective effort. You are a manifestation of greatness. You come from a royal bloodline. You understand what I'm saying? So when you walk and you meet someone who looks like you, your energy precedes you before you have an interaction. So when you walk confident. You walk with pride. You walk the walk of a million ancestors who follow. Who guide you. Who get on you when you off track. You understand? If there is no you, there's nobody here. You are the hope of our generation. You are the example to every time they try to misrepresent you. Understand? They do it through concise media targeted campaigns to misrepresent you. Our youth, our ancestors' return, our tomorrow, our proof of victory. Of you. Every single time. Every single time. And no matter what the challenges are, no matter what the struggles are, no matter what the adversity is, keep in mind the reward. You understand? You've been on that ball court. You're on that ball court, and the coach got to call a timeout. And if he's a good coach or she's a good coach, She has to refocus you and remind you who you are on the basketball court. Who you on the basketball court? My team. That's right.
All right.
My team. You understand?
Mhm.
And this is how a team succeeds. The points on the scoreboard mean nothing. No one can beat your team if your team. Everybody on the team plays for this person. And it's like, you understand? So when we're talking about liberation, we're talking about it from the vantage point of everybody on the team knowing their duties and responsibilities and executing them with precision. And if they make a mistake, they can refocus, they can rearm, and they can continue to go back on the floor. Man, I missed that rebound. Man, I should have boxed out. You need somebody on the field to say, yo, you good, man. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's get back on defense. Let's go. Let's go. Get your man. Who you got? You see what I'm saying? Continue to be those people. Now, naturally, those people based off of, he chose the honorable Marcus Messiah Gardner. He chose Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is who you are.
Right.
And this is who we are optimally when we are working together and functioning properly as a team. Ain't nobody late for practice. Ain't nobody complaining about the suicide. Ain't nobody complaining about, how many push-ups you got to do or the chairs on the wall, all of that. Focusing. Why we got to do this layup line so long? Why we keep doing these things over time? Because spaced repetition leads to mastery. You see what I'm saying? And when you're tired and when you're upset and you're rumbling and you're grumbling, man, not another practice, man, not another away game, man, not another tournament, you got to remember your family. And y'all see him dressed down today.
Yeah.
He was just super fresh. He was just super fresh. You know what I'm saying? He had that suit on going out there. I seen him out there getting it.
I'm sorry.
Story behind the story, a story within the story. And these two road warriors, they've been sojourning all over the planet. We had the honor and pleasure of connecting 2 years ago in Houston. We were here, we did the Dallas into Houston. Myself and my warrior comrade Tahi RBG, along with Red and Blue Pill, KTR Street. We did what was it, Texas? What was it?
Yeah.
RBG Explosion. That's what it was.
Right.
We did that. And hitting that road back and forth between here and Houston, like clockwork. My brother was behind the wheel. I'm like, hey, we freestyling, we doing all kinds of stuff on that long 3-hour stretch of road to Houston, coming back and forth. You understand what I'm saying? Keeping each other inspired, growing through the challenges that presented themselves. And y'all were a beacon of light to come in there and sit in the front row and just receive. It was a moment I was like, man. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes with all this, all you need is just a little bit of motivation. A little bit of inspiration. Somebody got what I was saying. Somebody got it. Man.
And used it.
Woo! So I just wanted to recognize y'all too. These right here. I'll give it up for my family. All these gifts was given by Queen Afi. He saved Melanated Greatness. Y'all go to melanatedgreats.com and support that sister. That is the First Lady of Revolutionary Mind Cinema group. They are amazing. They are talented in all of these things. She made the painting that you see, everything. She made all of these. Get up for
the website.
www.melanatedgreats.com.
Okay.
All right. So for the last people that are here in attendance, Cutting and them, y'all come up here and get some of these buttons, please. If you're running out of time, I don't want to stay true to our agreement. Okay.
Yeah, I give you these jewels that you rarely find, and these niggas shoes fit me very fine. Catch me on these avenues, I'm trying to reach they mind. Man, you know that black power music, it gets no playing, they ride until they put that brick in, and now they feeling my vibe. I start to slowly see they fists on the rise, see it's intense from their eyes. It's kinda hard to come to grips, make the decision decide. I ain't gonna lie, it took some time to make some sense in my mind. Now all I feel is a sense of this pride, incorporated in these lyrics and this vision of mine, to make a change for my people. Wish this wish to taste the sweeter, the pain runs deeper, you can feel it through the speakers, 400 years of pain, turn the page, every story look the same. They snapping pictures as he hangs. Emmett Till was killed for whistling and being brave, and y'all still running sleep with the beast from the cave. My knocker said you should be ashamed. The black woman, the goddess, said she come in many shades with the power to create greatness. Her DNA melanated on display, absorbing these sun rays. Right, I make a wonder as I'm building this collage. I feel the power of the people fully amplified live. My mission is to make a difference. Recognize I'm watching for the agents in disguise. I describe my struggle, my hustle kept it pushing like Lamar's, giving birth to a nation on the rise. As I scribe the soundtrack to the revolution, televised, telling lies, trying to stop the movement. So you gotta keep a semi like you came as a Zamunda. And yes, I'm in my prime like the minister Lamoon, but it's the program for your system. I ain't talking about computers, speaking proper installation for a future. And don't you confuse it. Some people outdated, so they might refuse it. Eternal glitches, so it's time to reboot them. Aim high, stay low, send a shot from the Ruger. Focus on our survival, formulate a conclusion. This is real, swear this ain't no illusion. Try to elude it, but you can't. So Lord, got the coppers in the tank, renegade, got this bug out bag right by the door, just in case it's time to break. Make a movie, play the game, this high stakes. All across the country, I be on these highways, flying through these clouds to reach my people's mind state. Wide awake, I ain't sleeping with the sheeple. Right fist high, all power to the people. Black power got me charged up. Somebody check the meter, 9 ether, my locks hang freely. As I praise my inner being, child of the universe, I'm just sightseeing. As I take you on this tour to give you more, and I ain't talking nationality. The pigs is at your door, can give a fuck. Blacks laws, that's corn gangs family. These is definitions, just really your formality. I put power in the words that I speak. Black absorbs all color. This is me, I am the walking constellation, birthed by the galaxy. Observation through telescopes, it couldn't capture what I see. I thought something in these books would make me feel more complete. Still searching, but I know I'm royalty. I'm a king, they tried to hide it, but I see till I'm fatigued. No Marines are on me to the teeth and kept it flowing like the Navy. Air Force them to retreat, reenacted D-Day and drop bombs on the beat, land mines on the track, but where you place your feet. Yeah, I'm 10 toes down till they lay me 6 deep. Return as the ghost of brick, even my spirit won't sleep. Non-stop relentless. No time clock invented could mark the date of this classic composition. I'm penning between these bars, give you a wealth of wisdom. If you could read between the lines, notice I'm painting the picture from the book of bricks, so this ain't no scripture. Amen, the flow sacred, religious in fact. The people quoting my statements. What will brick do across their bracelets? Show how strong their faith is for me to change it. And with that said, I made arrangements for this faceless, infinite information on pages that I created. My notebook so swole that it won't close. I'm going hard, introduction to the outro. You ain't repping for your people, keep your mouth closed. Like the Bible built, they love me in the South more. I think my mind first changed as a sophomore. Look at read books really without no blacks, so the same names repeatedly learned about those. Now Trump building a wall for the Vatos. Muslims can't fly back either, had to reroute those. Strips and gun stores sold out, know what to watch for and watch what you say.
Peace, and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of Knowledge Born. What's the science? We are here live May 2nd. So I was looking back through the archives and I was just thinking about the weekend that was coming up. And that was the weekend last year, this time, myself and Tahir RPG went to Texas and did the Dallas Fort Worth Becoming Unbreakable tour with KT the Arts Degree, Sister Rob Bay, and that was an amazing time. So I was just looking at that and contemplating that footage you saw of day 2 in the Doc Bookshop. Shout out to Mama Donna and Mama Danya over there in the Doc Bookshop. Shout out to Mama Equate and her wonderful tribe. We did day one there at Pan African Connections. These two sacred institutions for African liberation and for Black empowerment. So it was just an excellent joint. But before I get into anything, we got the reason for the season in the building. This warrior mind who comes to us in her rawest form at times, in her funny form and other times, in her intellectually grabbing capacity. Sass, aka Shwa Lewi, aka what's her name, y'all? AKA what? I gotta whisper it. Don't say it loud. Can't say it low. Assassin.
Shalom. I don't know what capacity I'm in tonight, but this morning.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We will find out. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
how are you?
I'm sorry. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
There go that orange
See,
again. I think
I
that's really
sure.
no. I think that's really a weapon.
A weapon?
I think that's a weapon, to be honest.
It's a weapon of mass destruction. Yes, that's what it is. WMD. Weapon of mass destruction. Okay. WMC. Weapon of mass construction. Okay. So it's there. That's my totem. I think I do so many streams. I'll be streaming in my dreams and I forget. I don't know if I'm actually alive, or I'm in the matrix. So I gotta make sure I throw my totem up. Make sure that I'm still here.
Wow. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You're the matrix is the womb.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just randomly said that.
No, you said that right on time. Because you exist in the womb of the mind also. And this is the womb of the mind you come out of from rest every morning. You rise from the primordial waters of your mind.
What are primordial waters?
The space where all things come from.
Talking about that deep dark, that deep dark waters.
Yes.
Not the void, right? I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to piece these two stories together. That's all.
It's all together.
Yeah, I'm just trying to piece it all together just to make it make sense to me. The earth was void. It was dark and void. That's what it says. The earth is the womb, right?
And void. And
Right.
darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Right.
Yes.
And so the earth is the womb. No.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought. All right. So everybody got it. Okay. So people got it wrong. Just like I thought.
They got it all right.
Yeah.
They got it all right.
What do you mean they got it all right? That's not.
Whatever answer they come up with, that's their own answer.
Oh, they think they're right. Right. Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Because, all right. Got you. All righty then.
I mean, that's their mind. Where their mind goes, hey, that's for them. You understand? So I don't collide with them on what they doing. Unless it come to our enemies, then I'll be very, 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 very swift and clear.
No,
And that's
just
really
trying
for
to
me.
get.
It ain't really for them. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that you don't bring to me. Don't bring it to me. You can have it over there. Do not bring it to me or seek to collide with the mission that I'm on. Is
There's.
how you lose.
Yeah, I hear you.
If we do not get the ransom by tonight, we will cut off his head. Like Cat Williams said. This thing up there.
No, because that that those are English. All those are English words, but they mean the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's to cause confusion. The confusion is in the words. So
Confusion
if you
is
know
in the
English
people.
vocabulary, then you'll understand what something means.
Confusion is in the word, and the confusion is in the people.
Well,
That's how.
because they don't have an understanding of the words that's being used to describe something or to tell a story or how can you understand the myth if you don't understand the language? That's why people will say like there's many things that are translated from other languages into a new language. It gets confusing because the person translating may not understand what it's talking about exactly, and then brings it over to you know what I'm saying. But because English has many words that mean the same thing, you can kind of piece things together. So that's one good thing about the English language. The rest of it is ridiculous, but that's all I want to say. But anyway, that's why everybody should always have a dictionary open, like, to challenge these things that we're reading. Just so
I
you
don't
know.
think they want to. I think they're good to go. Well, wherever they are within themselves until they see something different. They got to come to that realization on their own.
Well, I mean, if you're reading a book, I know people say I'm an avid reader, I read and stuff like that. But then I'll ask, well, do you use a dictionary when you read? And it's like, no. Like, okay, well, how are you able to put these things into context? These ideas into context if you don't know which definition to use, right? So there we go. So that's all I wanted to say. That's as serious as I'm going to get.
You ever see The Wire?
Yes, many years ago.
You ever see The Wire?
Yes, many years ago.
Bunk Moreland was the greatest man I ever seen on a police show. Even though the show was solely about the police. Detective Bunk Moreland told McNulty, he said, see, there you go. Giving a fuck when it ain't your turn. Okay? There you go, Sass. Giving a fuck when it ain't your turn. Okay? It ain't your turn. When it's your turn to give a fuck, you better make sure that you step up to that plate. But when it ain't your turn, don't give a fuck.
That's kind of how I roll anyway. I don't have an opinion on everything. I just don't. Well, it depends on the person. If it comes, if something crazy or something intelligent comes out of somebody, I really don't
You about to
want to
look. You
deal
about to go
with.
right back down that same street. Look. You about
No,
to go right
I'm
back
no,
down
I'm
that same
what
street.
down the street. I'm talking about in general to anybody. Like it could be
That's my
anybody.
honesty.
Like my college professors, I could care less about what they say. Like kind of like that, you know. Like I don't even care to answer. Like I've always said that. Like they'll ask a question in the class, and I'm like, well, I don't care to answer that question. Well, why not? So I just don't think
Right.
it's important. Ah, shalom, radical. Shalom, shalom. I just don't think it's important. If I feel like you're important enough for me to answer a question, I will. I'll
I ain't
entertain.
never,
I'll entertain sometimes if I feel like it. But
I ain't never
other than
seen that
that, no.
question.
What you say?
I, I plead. I tell them I plead the fifth. One, two,
Right,
three, four.
right. You don't have to engage all the time. You don't have to answer questions all the time. You don't have to do those things.
I don't pay
Some
attention to
people
none of
put too
that
much energy
enough.
into that, into pleasing other people. That's a form of pleasing other people. It's frustrating to the soul. It removes peace. Why would you want to even deal with something like that? You choose who you speak to, who you talk to. Something wrong with that. I know people. I know, like my mother would like get upset with me growing up. When you get in here, you better say hello. You better speak. You better blah 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 blah. Yeah, for
Mm.
manners' sake, hey, what's up, whatever. But if you keep it cordial, your greetings are good, but you don't have to, engage people if you don't want to. You don't have to. So, and sometimes that could be for your own sanity. Forget what other people saying. You do it for yourself. Ain't nobody trying to be stressed out all the time.
I'm stress
Right.
free.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm stress free. Let's ride. Let's ride. That's it. I'm telling you.
and
Who sung
and
that old
again,
song? Who sung that old song? Look, you about to get serious again. Look,
what song? No, I'm
look.
interested. What song?
Easy like Sunday morning.
Oh, that's Lionel Richie. Or
There
was
you go.
that the Commodore? Anyway, yeah, it could either be Lionel or it could be Lionel, or that's how I pronounce it ain't Lionel, it's Lionel. Or the Commodores, whoever
Okay.
was singing it, right? Whoever it was, right? But I just got finished listening to OJ's, so
Mm.
yeah.
Which one? Darling, darling, baby, or Backstabbers? Which one?
No, we cried
Let's stay
together.
where they have cried together.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
oh.
So
Hey, let me tell you that right there. That's a healing song right there.
it is. It's a beautiful song too. Like, I mean, I feel it in my soul. I mean, it's
And if your
soothing.
man ain't never cried with you, he's suspect. If he ain't crying with you, he crying with his boyfriend. Okay, he crying with somebody. He ain't crying with
I have
you.
to go back
He
and
crying with his boyfriend.
reevaluate now. Like, wait a minute, has he ever cried? What I'm saying? You have to like go back. Has he ever cried? You know,
Y'all
he's
seen
suspect.
Train Boys in the Hood? Okay,
That's
he was
why it didn't
swinging
work
at the
out.
air and
Yeah,
crying.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
he was swinging and crying at the air. Okay, he did that in front of his woman.
Well, that's
Okay,
why it didn't work out because he didn't cry. Okay.
cry, cry
Yeah, I was about
together.
to drop a jewel, but
Uh,
I left that alone and got into the music conversation. So
so go back to the jewel.
I
Then.
forgot what it was.
Right.
I forgot what it
It
was.
wasn't for us.
It was
It
no,
wasn't
it
for us
was a
to hear that.
right. It was a follow up to what I was saying. I don't even remember what it was, but it was definitely a jewel that I do remember.
You did. You was talking about. You was listening to the OJ. That's a jewel. That's a jewel too. Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
So for all of y'all who was looking for the hip hop conversation today, that is tomorrow. Okay. Sass said she want all of the embers, not the smoke. Embers, because smoke. If it get in your eyes, you can't see good. Okay? The
No,
embers.
I built my list up, and I did that earlier.
Yeah.
So
For tomorrow. Yeah. So
yeah,
she ready.
I'm ready,
Ready.
and
Ready.
I have a other section for other parts of the country, just in case
Other part.
it get
Just in
ill.
case.
Yeah, it get kind of
Y'all try some other
controversial.
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
gonna look back at my list and be like, no, this one right here can deal with this one over here. So yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
yeah,
yeah.
I was talking about being in Texas last year, Dallas, Fort Worth. I started with that video. I was trying to find the beginning video. I don't even know where it is. I had to look in my email. Probably it didn't. I don't think that it processed through in order for it to upload. So it's somewhere, but maybe if I find it tomorrow or later on today, I'll put it up. That was a joyous time. I forget sometimes in places, and I'm not really one for the camera. If you were there, you seen it. If you wasn't there, you missed the fuck out. So with this transition to like this visual thing to where I'm visible all the time. It's something that's new and it takes some adjusting still. But this was me coming into Dallas. Like, and going to Dallas, going to Fort Worth, checking in with everybody, walking through the space, getting everything together, getting a visual for how everything was going to go, the flow of the program, everything. That was this day. So this was crazy. Going into the spots, looking, visualizing, okay, we can set this up here, da, 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 da. All of those things that go along with ensuring the maximization of effort for anything that you put your soul into in your essence to have come into fruition in the proper manner. So going, meeting with the people, walking through the space, that communion with the space, the visualization of people coming into the space and all of that, all of it goes together. Setting up the equipment, ensuring, you got the cameras, you got his visual line of view where he's going to be set up and how he wants to move. Shout out to our brother Chris Cleaver. He did an amazing job with that. And that was this was like an epic weekend last year. Um, yeah. So going to them different locations, and then the next day we was on one of the illest radio stations on the planet, Tri-Coastal Radio, that Tri-Coastal Universe over there. That that next day, early in the morning, I tell you, can't nothing but the Lord get me up at that hour. You understand what I'm saying? But they they had got me up at that hour. You understand? So going over there, doing that interview was phenomenal. Linking up with our fam over there, the coach, the dean, and professor, Big Rip, Kitty Sang's Just Too Heavy, uh, going out there live on location and addressing, some of these things that we see now. So it's just crazy. In a year time span, you could have counted going back to these African centered hotbeds and doing your events. And from one year to the next, you know, almost a year to the date, these things being removed and having limited access. But nothing has stopped those businesses from thriving and flourishing. You can call ahead and they'll bring that stuff out to you. The Doc Bookshop just did an interview with Eric Jerome Dickey. That was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal interview. Shout out to them. Uh, it was a whole bunch of things that's associated with everything that they do, and I just love that they find a way to open their arms to the community. Still, they was doing virtual poetry night, virtual book club, all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So between those two spaces and places, these community spots where African people can come, they can feel safe, they can feel loved, they can feel adorned, everything. Nothing stopped nobody from doing anything that they doing. I just think that's remarkable. So I love those two locations. I love the Africans that own them spots. Both of them are family businesses, that deserve our continued support and patronage to keep those institutions open. You know. So it was an honorable experience for me to be in those places and to be able to sow into them both and also to give presentations over there. Y'all saw one of the videos, and I have to find the other one so y'all could see that as well. Uh, my brother Brandon Bay came out there to Pan African Connections. and him and his family. I met his mom and his family over there, and we had a good time out there. In the midst of chaos, in the midst of the strain, all of these things that go along with this process and these steps towards liberation. In the midst of it all, we find a space to celebrate. We find a space to commune. Find a space to laugh and love on one another and uplift each other and exalt each other. That's very healing, and it's very necessary to continue on this work because you carry on around a lot of toil. Mama Danya said some things that struck my soul. Saying that having to go across the country and then have to go to these places and then have to take on these energies. So sacred, such a sacred jewel she gave in regards to saying having to take off those energies and then having to go into a place to rid yourself of those energies so they don't pass around, kind of like this whole, like she set a spiritual precedent for this physical experience that people are undergoing right now in regards to saying about, you know, self quarantine after contact, cleansing yourself, cleansing your spirit, cleansing yourself and ridding yourself of that energy so you don't pass it around. And we see a year later that this is the case where people are physically going through these things and having to rid themselves of that energy, same energy, this healing energy, this restorative energy, this test for your body. And I remember at the opening of the second day, I was speaking about the relationship between the weed and the crop, the weed and the seed, and saying that the toil of the farmer, and I kind of walked through that analogy, and I won't get in depth now because it's after 12 o'clock. I ain't about to go there. Uh, so the gist of the situation with many of us, you know, who are diehard about a particular goal, we have to find a way to submit to the process. I was on with Queen Yo-Yo earlier, and she said that in so many words. She wished that someone had told her to not be in a rush, to submit to the process. She was a child in the hip hop industry, in the entertainment industry. She was what was referred to as a major baby or a major's baby. Like she was uh, a teenager who was signed to a major record label at the time. So she had already been, major for her entire career. So with that, you get used to a certain kind of situation and you don't have to really think or put any energy into what you're doing. You come into a ready-made situation and they continue to push. So in that, one of her lessons was learning, wishing that someone told her to submit to the process. And, you know, uh, as one of my teachers teaches, time is on your side. Like that movie, Fallen, they were singing that song, and all of that rush and everything, that hustle and the bustle, oftentimes is very burdensome to the spirit because we have to think we got to get things done like yesterday when we have time to do these things together. So going back to the farmer's analogy, the farmer has to have vision, patience, and the farmer has to have miracle sight. That sight beyond sight. What we call vision. He can't or she can't be dismayed by what she sees or what he sees. So they're walking that path of the ground and speaking words of affirmation to themselves and to the earth. That in tune type of situation with the earth to prepare the earth for incubation, to prepare the earth to be disturbed, asking permission for the elements to cooperate. And a lot of times we just get started with the process. There is no permission being sought. We aren't beseeching any of the elements, but us, like the farmer, want a bountiful harvest, want a return on our investment. And we have not prepared the earth or the path. We have not beseeched the earth or the path to
What happened?
yield us anything.
Wait. You went out. Say you went out.
I
You
didn't,
need to repeat.
I didn't, I didn't go anywhere. I
Oh,
stopped
okay. Because I needed to hear that.
because I seen you was over there cutting up labels and stuff,
I was
chopping up pieces.
not. No, I'm not. I was just. Oh my gosh. No. No. I needed you to finish that because y- you know what you're talking about. My
But
book teaches. But
what?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I won't.
Go
No,
ahead.
repeat what. No, say what you're gonna say about that. Bring it out.
It's too late for all of that.
No, it's not. You would
Too
say
late
the
already.
ground. The ground hasn't been prepared. You were going in on. Mm-mm. Hallelujah. I'll just leave it alone. I'm gonna leave
What my
it
point
alone.
was,
I know what
my
your point
point
was, but
was,
I thought that I didn't hear it. But go ahead.
did I say my point already?
No, you didn't say. I didn't hear it. Like you were going in there, but then you stopped, and I'm like, and I stopped as soon as you. I said, wait a minute. Is it going out? I had to check. Like, did he, did he get kicked out? What happened? Because you was about to bring it home. I was like, my scriptures talk that way. But anyway, I digress. I'm done. I'm done.
Let me take some oranges.
Because people are so one dimensional with stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. It's real sad. But go ahead. I was enjoying that right there. Then you stopped, but I went into a
That
panic
was a,
right there.
a part of the process. The part of the process of going into the space and preparing the space, asking permission,
Hmm.
beseeching the divine for the allowance and to remove anything that is negative that is present that does not belong there. Anything or anyone. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, walking that path into place like a good farmer, you know, not
Hmm.
allowing the number to dismay,
Hmm.
not thinking about every single seed that was planted, understanding that the ground has to be prepared. Understand that it must be the season for what you're planting, you
Hmm.
know, and understanding that each seed, your responsibility is to plant the seed in fertile soil and to give it time and to give it air. You are not in charge of when these seeds bear fruit. You just must be dutiful of the time. You must be dutiful of the experience. You must be dutiful and faithful to the relationship of yourself and nature, and not allow these aspects of yourself to negate your gestation process, your transformation process. So, as these seeds are planted in the fertile soil, before you can plant a seed, you must prepare the earth and ask the earth permission to plant there. And then you have to go through the tumultuous labor of breaking ground,
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-hmm.
that back breaking labor
Mm-hmm.
of breaking ground, and understand that this is an ancestral connection because we are breaking the ground, the same ground that our ancestors broke. So that connection to the toil, to the sweat, the connection to the sacrifice, the connection to the painstaking labor that's associated with the birthing process or the rebirthing process, wherever you are in your mind. So, breaking the ground, you might break the tools, you might break yourself in the process, you might hurt yourself in the process. But right under this unattractive layer of soil is the richest and the most fertile soil you ever seen. So, as to our relationships with our people, from the hellified situation we find ourselves in, we look broken and hurt, and we have aspects of us that on the surface look unattractive. But beneath that, if you can, penetrate that and go beneath that, you find the most fertile, the most beautiful, the most powerful soil underneath that topsoil. And now you can get close to the earth and begin to plant your seeds. So if you're looking to make a connection with the crowd, if you're looking to make an impact with the crowd, you have to speak to them in the levels of not only how they present themselves, but what lies beneath the surface. So the beauty of explaining this process, the beauty of having an understanding after all of that process that the seed is planted and its gestation process in the womb of the earth. As the seed is planted in gestation in the womb of the mind and in the essence of self, it begins to grow. It begins to grow in this womb. The seed that's planted begins to grow if it's properly irrigated and receives proper and adequate sunlight and attention from the planter. So during this process of gestation, the proof of life springs forth from the earth topside. The evidence of this gestation period is an explosion of a crop that begins to grow topside. So this aspect of the seed coming out of the ground. You see evidence of its life. You see evidence of a thought form that is now a life form manifested in physical form. And as soon as you see evidence of this life hitting topsoil, here comes a fully grown weed. A fully grown weed. So the fully grown weed comes out of the ground, and the farmer is perplexed. And in the process of the healing, and in the process of the communication, of the process of establishing a strong connection with your audience, boom, here comes a weed. And if you are the farmer or the visionary or the speaker, wherever you are, there's a point to where you know someone isn't getting what you're saying. You left them. You left them. Or you yourself lost track of the direction in which you were going. Boom, the weed. And now you want an artificial process. You want to taint the earth with a chemical so the weed doesn't come out of the ground. Otherwise, I got to get down there and I got to pull out all of the weeds. Now, the weed is evidence of life under the soil. Evidence that that seed is going to bear fruit. Now, the weed, in some instances, is the reason why the seed does not bear fruit, does not bear the crop that it was intended to. So the weed takes all of the nutrients from the plant. And then we curse the weed. We say this damn weed here and snatch it out. We don't take into account that the weed is there as a tester for the seed. We don't take into account that the weed is there to ensure the proper development and growth of the crop. We don't take into account that the weed is there to see how bad that seed wants to live. So we don't thank the weed. We don't thank the adversity. We don't thank the process. We say all praise due for the results. And the results is the bountiful harvest. The results is liberation. The results is whatever you have on the other end of the equal sign, but you no longer give reverence to the equation and your mind having to adjust to work out the equation. So this weed and this seed have a journey and a destiny and a purpose to come up together. And if the seed can survive the test of the weed, the seed and the crops will be successful. So all of the crops that you have in this bountiful harvest have been tried and tested, and they are the greatest of all the seeds. So when we think about our people in this relationship to nature, in this relationship between the seed and the weed. Those seeds that did not make the gestation process were necessary so that these other ones might be the strongest and the greatest of the crops. So when it comes harvest time, there will be a bountiful harvest. So these moments along the way that challenged us, these instances along the way that challenged us, these circumstances along the way that challenged us, we were the seeds that did not allow those challenges and tests to stop or stunt our growth. We are the evidence of life affirming in the continued resilient life of our foremothers and forefathers. So, in the instance when I was speaking to the youth, I was speaking to the youth, and I love speaking to our youth. It's like the greatest tool ever. And they were basketball players, and I coached for so many years. So, I learned how to speak to my teammates. I learned how to speak to my teammates in a way that was most palatable and most direct to them. So speaking to the youth, I went back to the basketball court and I took them through every practice. I know as a coach what that atmosphere is like for a player. And to unify the minds of the team for one goal, victory as a team. Not worried about the time on the clock, not worried about the scoreboard, worrying about that they did everything possible to ensure victory for their team against the opposition, the weed. That sometimes it's necessary to take a reset or a timeout in the game to refocus each other on what's at stake, victory, and to remind them that they are the strongest and the best and the brightest because they did not allow the weeds that were out there to destroy them. And so, looking at these challenges and insurmountable odds that we've undergone, but then look at the generation to come after us. If we don't speak life into those seeds, they will be destroyed by those weeds. So that in essence is kind of like looking at all of that together and looking at those experiences and being relatable to those young men and to the audience at the same time to be recognized in a communal fashion by your peer group, by the elders that was present, and in front of those ancestors and the creator is like an honor that's due. So it was an honor for me to be able to come to a place and to be received enough to reciprocate that reception and give it back to where it's due, to give it back to the creator, to give it back to my ancestors, to give it back to the elders that's present, my peer group, and most especially the youth. So those was remarkable situations And that's just a little behind the scenes look at some of those things, some of those opportunities to enact with our people and to celebrate them. So that was a little snapshot of last year around this time since we're doing this trifecta. I thought about it behind the scenes, but what greater behind the scenes than something y'all could visually see, and y'all have to be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" You could physically see it, and that was a remarkable experience, one of many.
Very good. Very good. I'm here.
Oh, good.
Yep. I am here. I'm here. So that was the first of the trifecta.
I guess it was the first and the second and the third. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know what we got going on. What was it? So yeah, that was that.
Oh my goodness. Making a mess over here. Never mind me. I'm over here. I'm listening to you and crafting a little bit.
What you making? A clubhouse?
A clubhouse.
Yeah.
No, I'm making my planner really pretty. That's all for next week. I mean, I make it pretty so that I'll stick to, what I have to do.
The plan.
So if it's plain, I would like, I'm not looking at that. I'm not gonna be productive. So yeah, so I'm just planning out, my whole week. But anyway, I saw that video earlier this year. So I'm fully aware of the subject matter and what you were talking about. I thought for a minute you was a preacher at first. I'm like, that's what
You thought I was a preacher?
yeah, yeah, he was. I was like, that a preacher?
My forehead was sweating. It was hot as hell in
Yeah,
there. So
yeah,
I might have.
yeah. Yep. He was in the spirit. Yeah, he was definitely in the
Was I?
spirit. Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Hallelujah. Mhm.
Oh,
You were. I will say that in the spirit.
I was. I believe my mother showed up for a little while, and she took over.
Really. Mm.
Yeah, that's my mother's. That's my mother's speaking style.
Came in and took it over. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna go sit down right now." Yeah.
Yep. But she didn't let me sit down. She let me kind of stay with her, so we was like back and forth.
Well, that's sweet.
Man, I wished that I could have had that one part of us speaking together at the beginning of that 2 day lecture that we did in Germany because it was people and we had did a whole bunch of stuff to get everything ready and all that. We put that damn sheet up that you seen on the wall that
Hmm.
the projector was on and all that, and people were sitting and they wasn't ready yet. So my mother and I were up there talking at the beginning, and I saw like all of these cameras on, and nobody's footage is there, and we were talking, just us vibing with each other in her grand royalty space,
Hmm.
and me, her disciple. So we was joking, talking shit. and the ease of the crowd, because you can feel it spiritually if you in tune. The ease of the crowd, because this was a location overseas where some people they may or may not ever heard of, and they came to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So they trusted me enough to come there, and then they trusted me enough to be in that space. So my mother and I was warming up the crowd, and that was epic. So in preparation for her, because she was going to speak first,
Mm-hmm.
and those people there got a chance to meet my mother in the flesh, you know. So that was an interesting thing for them, and a very interesting thing for the speakers who came from New York, from New York to Amsterdam. Then it was snowing so bad they had to land in Frankfurt, and then take another plane to Nuremberg. And that was like an experience and a half for them to come overseas to Germany, because Black Dot had went to the UK right before that. So they came over to this Nazi place
Exactly what it is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
to find some black people who were over there
Mm-hmm.
teaching consciousness, you know. So in the midst of that, they would be the first people to do it. And to date, the only people to do it, to come to Germany and do that, what we did. So
Awesome.
it's not like the UK where it was plentiful because you had, you know, people from forever to go there. Nobody came to Germany. So that was interesting to be able to do that. Um, and to leave that as a part of the legacy over there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just wish somebody had that footage. Maybe if they look through all of this stuff, maybe one day somebody will find it. Be like, yo, guy, I found that shit. Shen Shen, yo, Shen Shen. Remember that part you talk about with your moms and shit, Shen Shen? I found that shit. I found it, Shen Shen. I got you. I'm gonna send that to you, Shen Shen. Yeah, that's how they be talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
That's right.
yeah. That was just funny though, how all those cameras was on and nobody got that. That was just interesting. One day, one day it'll resurface. Somebody will be like, Eureka!
Eureka. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. Eureka.
Somebody will be like, I have found it. Shen Shen. I found it, Shen Shen out here. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So yeah, it's gonna be that was an amazing experience to have in that part.
All right. So,
You about to tell a story?
hmm?
You got to tell a story?
No, I have no stories.
Go on that.
No, a story? I don't have any stories.
Yeah.
None. None.
None.
None. Not at this point. No. Not. I
Mm.
mean, not. Not. I don't even know what I want to talk about. I have no idea. Trying to think of something interesting. I have no idea. Hmm. I mean, this quarantine. I mean, I think I've talked enough thus far. Um, I don't know. Um, People are talking about. Oh, there's a new press secretary in the White House. Also, she said today that she will never tell a lie. She'll never lie to the press corps. That's what she said. They got her on record, and that's funny because C-SPAN, um, they took that little part out and posted it. That was funny. C-SPAN is petty. So yeah. And what else? Oh, stimulus talk. Puppy and that voting. I mean, he was look. Wasn't he the one to come up with rock the vote? He was the one that came up with that. Why would he stop now? Right? So
Did he
I
say vote or cry? He said vote or
yeah,
cry
vote
or
or die. That's what he said or
oh
something.
die. I thought he
Yeah,
said vote or cry.
it was
Mm.
die back then. It was die. He was always for voting. You know why? Because he benefits from the system. He does. So I don't see why people are upset. Black people should just
Let me
ignore him.
stop.
When have we ever listened to him
Stop real
anyway?
quick. She was on the show here.
Who?
Take the Herbs CEO Latanya.
Oh,
This is her product right here. Bam. Oh, let's put that up in here. Let me just do that commercial real quick. Take the Herbs activated charcoal. Okay. Let me make sure I got it right on the thing.
yeah.
Get you some of the activated charcoal. You dig? And what else? What else we got up in here? Got all of this stuff up in here. Supreme Omega 3, 6, and 9 right here. Make sure y'all go to www.takeoftheherbs.org. Okay? Got all kind of natural products over there. Get your life right. Getyourlife.org. Okay? www.takeoftheherbs. Put that up there. Take of the herbs. Okay? Support the goddess. I think she'll be back on next week. And be out here. Got some African black soap. You know what I'm saying? Wash your ass. Organic Nubia face serum. Get your face right. Okay? Get your face right. No parasites. So make sure y'all support. Okay? I'm gonna do a full review when she comes on. Shout her out. Show some love. Got the clove oil and all that. Okay, so for your teeth, your teeth, and your gums and all that, and the charcoal for your teeth crease. Get that charcoal right. Okay, so shout out. Let me type that in real quick. My apologies. You can say what you was about to say.
I don't remember.
You
You know,
cleared your throat.
I won't remember. So I just don't. I can't. You know that. Look,
You cleared your throat just now. You did that DJ Cool. Let me clear my throat and
I did.
oh.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't remember if I did that or not.
Bam.
I don't remember. My bad.
Get you some. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yo was the bomb today. She was the bomb. Diggy dee. Bomb diggy bomb but dang diggy diggy down.
I have to review it later. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. I'm not sure how I messed that up and missed it, but totally missed that.
I was like, have mercy me. I hope you don't mind. Let me clear my throat and God, just to the rhythm of the pumpkin jump. We got Haj G later on today.
Oh, I was
You
talking
know what I'm
about
saying?
news. I was talking about news. Now I remember.
I was talking about stimulus
Yeah, I was talking about news.
news.
Yeah, the mainstream media news. Yeah, that stuff.
I am peace, Almighty ones. Peace to you. I am whoever I am is. I am somebody. I am somebody.
The the stimulus is. I mean that. Yeah, that $2,000 payment
Propose.
per month. It's only a proposal, man. Just like the ADOS. People need to just
Yeah,
calm down. It's not
they
going anywhere.
ready.
Yeah, just
They
calm down.
already spent it. They already spent it in their head. Now, them people who excited about it keep getting excited.
It's our.
Okay,
It's look. Doesn't mean it's going anywhere just because they propose something. That's for people who are ignorant,
right.
don't know any better. Oh, we gonna get reparations? No, it's not. Those people trying to get
Let them
votes.
people. Let them people have that excitement. Okay.
People tired of black people in Congress. I'm telling you, they know it. That's why they had to come with that. Well, at least we pushed for it. You can't say we didn't propose it. We didn't and the fact that it was proposed in it was proposed in a committee that of Homeland Security. It's the least important one. Let's not forget that. Um, Look, just educate yourself. You ain't getting no check. And that stimulus, I was hearing that because I didn't look at it for myself, but I was hearing that only 28 Democrats support that. So there go your Democrat loving you right there. So just saying.
They love it.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, they're really showing themselves now. Like, just saying. Y'all keep voting if you want to.
Vote or cry. That's it.
Mhm.
Vote or cry.
The census. No, my grandmother said, look, when you get some time, can you please do my census on the computer? Because they said if I don't do it, I'm gonna get a fine or go to jail. Something she said. I can't remember what she said. I said, what? No, you're not.
That's
Well,
right.
that's what the
That's
papers
my grandma.
say. That's what the papers say. And I said, well, they want to redistrict so bad. They're looking to redistrict. They do understand that black people are moving, around a lot these days for a plethora of reasons. So they want to make sure that their constituency is still the same or not, you know. So this is what they do every so often. I'm not gonna send my. I don't even care. But they sent me one. I'm like, whatever. So
Grandma said do that census for
yeah,
her. Okay.
it's still, I'm like, no, absolutely not. But I told us, all right, Granny. I'll be trying to forget about it. I have been. So, um, but I mean, it's I don't know, it's crazy, and especially in the wake of gentrification, which is really happening right now. It's like happening like a lot right now in the black communities. It's really it's heavy, very heavy now. So that makes all the difference as well. Um, but let me look. Let me just look to. Let me see. Let me just be clear about this, so people won't say, "Oh, Sass just saying whatever." I see. I ain't even open it
You
yet.
getting
See
serious
how
again?
see how I'm opening it? Look, I got this weeks and weeks ago, right? And see how I'm just opening it right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept it just to teach. So let me see. What does it ask you? Let's see. I'm looking for the race part. Hold on. Oh, yeah. There you go. So yeah. So this is that. What is it? Number 9. That's what they most. That's what is important to them. Number 9. What is person number 1's race? So each section has this person 1, person 2 live in your house. What their race is. This is what they want to know. Yeah. Oh my God, they want to know if you're a homosexual as well. If you're married, if you
Hey,
if you're adopted, or I mean, this is they get all in your business. Got to put your birthday down. Is this person Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish? Why would that matter? Huh? Um, let's see. Uh, let's see what else. Oh, here we go. What is a person's race? Okay, for black people, right? Black or African American. For example, African American, Jamaican, Haitian, Nigerian, Ethiopian, Somalian. United States of America classifies all black people from uh, if your race is black from these 2 continents, you're black. Okay, there it is. So case closed. Case closed on who's black and who's not, and who identifies with it and who not. This imperialistic fascist government over here. Um, who says you're was it 3/5? Think this all you are black, all of us. It don't matter. So that's why I kept this paper, because this thing just to show people what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm saying you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do. I have it right here. Um. Yeah. So they put you all in the same boat. So yes. All right. So if you don't check this box, right? If you don't check that box, I'm gonna be giving you the side eye. You don't check this box and you black, I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm gonna have to get at you. I'm gonna look at you. That's funny. That's how you know who's who when it's come to those. I love it. I love these type of questionnaires though, because people be think if you gotta think too long about which one you want to check off.
Okay.
Let me put this away for secret
So
keeping.
we will not be doing the hip hop show today.
Nope. I mean,
We
yeah.
will we will be doing the Afeni Shakur show today.
We are. Oh,
Yes.
you're doing.
Today is her transition day. We
You're,
are. You will not.
oh, I wasn't. Oh, I wasn't alert. Oh, I'm being told now. Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah. Later on,
A
we'll be
Tupac
doing
mama, right?
transition. Yes.
A Tupac mama. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. So that's going down today. And it's my uncle's birthday today. My Uncle Ronald. My Uncle Ronald, his birthday. Today. I'll call my cousin Ronald. Cousin Ronald.
That's right. Um, we celebrate birthdays around here. Okay.
And transition day.
And we
So
do in remembrance. Yeah,
finish.
yeah. We always
Yeah.
remember. You know, gotta remember the days of
Yeah.
old. This is what I'm taught. So my teachers taught me.
Ecclesiastic, chapter 12.
What? Which one? Which verse?
I see T Duck in here. I'm just fucking with T Duck.
Oh, okay, okay.
Ecclesiastic, chapter 12.
Show them T Dot. In 13, the last verse, the last two verses, 13 and 14.
The whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing. Well, let me tell you something about the book of Ecclesiastes. Just look, John, just two sentences. I don't know how many sentences, but um, I think everybody should read that. I mean, even if you don't, deal with the book or whatever, just read it. Because if you want to see like somebody frustrated and talking, take a look at Solomon. The book is hilarious when you read it because he was at his wits' end. Like, you know, he was trying to keep his hands off of people when he wrote that. So instead of putting hands on people, he sat down and wrote. He wrote like to get that frustration out because when people read that book of Ecclesiastes, they're not reading it correctly. They're reading it as something, whatever. This man is dropping jewels on you, telling you about what life is and what you should do with it at the end of the day. So I
T
love
Duck, is that right? Is it Ecclesiastic chapter 12?
what is he saying? And what do you want him to say?
I don't know.
He laughing at you.
Yeah, I know. He laughing. Well, he said I'm correct. So I don't have to say the whole chapter. I was about to say it out loud right now.
Correct about what? You
Huh?
left that part out. Correct about what?
No, I said it.
Oh, it's a secret. Got you.
It's not a secret if I said it out loud. I just said it out loud. I said, "Is that correct?" He said, "Yes, sir." So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
laughed at me first,
yeah,
and then he said I was correct. I
yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah,
not,
that's a secret. Got you.
how is that a secret?
Look, let me just go see what the Talmud says about it and the
Go
Gemara
see what the
and the
time
Mishnah.
yeah, the Gemara and whoever.
Let's go see what they say about it. Yeah.
Ask Charlie Murphy too, and ask Homer Simpson and all that.
All
Whoever
of them.
the
All of them.
other,
Yeah.
yeah. Go get the mid rash. You know what I'm saying?
Why
All
people say
that.
mid rash? Like a mid rash. That don't sound right. The way people be saying it. You have a rash in your midsection.
Right. That's exactly what it is.
The
Oh
Talmud
boy.
don't deal with that. Those are just writings. That's just whatever. That's wisdom. So take it however you like, basically.
That's how we taking it.
Yep,
Like
however
that.
you like. With those things, take it wherever you like. I tell people to read it
That's
because
how I would take it anyway. Just like
life,
that.
yeah, life is not all peaches and cream all the time. Life is what you make it.
That's right.
Now for that Talmudic stuff and the Midrash and the Mishnah and the Gemara, all that's for the law. But that other stuff you can interpret on your own.
You say it's for the Lord, for the Lord.
No, the law.
Oh,
The
you
stuff in
said for the
the
Lord.
stuff in the first five books, because you can't tell us what it is if you don't get the interpretation. Like you literally you can't. Like any interpretation you get. I mean, you have to get some sort of interpretation. So I understand what you're
Oh,
saying. I totally understand what you're
we
saying.
doing. I'm not saying nothing.
You didn't say
We
anything, but
doing. We doing the Phoenix Accord show today, and I'm gonna go get me a bottle of Muscatel.
musket tail.
I'm gonna give me a bottle of Ripple and a cigar from my uncle. He was in the Navy. Mm-hmm. In the Navy. Well, I'm done. You good, Sass?
Yeah.
So we'll catch y'all later on. 11 o'clock is the Sonic and Goma. Professor Carlton Jones will be in the building. 7 a.m. with that dynamic trio of Africans coming through showing love. And 1 o'clock, Mama Tressa will be on here speaking about her new book, Naked, almost 60 years in the journey to finding herself. So you could be almost 60 and still be on that path of self discovery. Shout out to Mama Tressa. That's going to be live. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be live with Haas G, aka Phantom on the Beat. If y'all knew the beats that this brother produced it. I gotta say produced it. Y'all would tune in today, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Do Nouns Radio. You know, one of them Ghostface records or Supreme Clientele. Sass.
What? What happened? What about it?
One of them Ghostface records or Supreme Clientele.
Okay.
You know, Apollo Kids. He produced that beat. Okay. One of those club bangers he produced for Lil Kim and 50 Cent. Remember that song?
Which one?
50
Magic
Cent
Stick?
and Lil Kim.
Magic Stick?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Host to other beats.
Yep,
And he had
the magic stick beat is dope. Right on, that's just like an automatic song that people like.
So Apollo Kids live to spit the real. Okay? Mother. Y'all see that? All these fake in the joint. Still in my life. Watch me do. Watch me do. I know that's in your playlist, right?
If it's Ghostface Killer, all of it.
Yeah. So
You still talking about Ghostface Killer, right?
yes,
Okay, yeah. Then I have them all.
that was Suspect right there. You ain't know that's the beginning of that song right there.
No, not the way you said it. It sound weird.
Sound weird.
No, it sound. I don't know. It just didn't hit me like that. That's like with the whole magic stick thing too. So I had to like sit there and think about that for a minute.
Hmm.
Especially since I haven't heard in a long time.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I was listening to OJ's today.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, you're forgiven. You was listening to the OJs.
I was listening to OJ's today. I
I
listen to
take. I
different
would
things like
take back
every
the
day.
suspectness. I would take back the
Why you
suspectness.
saying I'm suspect? I know all Ghostface Killer songs. What are you
I'm
talking
just
about? Just because
joking.
I don't,
I'm just
just because I don't
joking.
know the
It's
name of
after.
it.
Look, yo. Sunshine. It's after 12 o'clock. Sunshine. It's not even that serious.
I know, but
Sunshine.
he like
Chill,
my
man.
favorite rapper, and you like trying to like throw a little
Sunshine.
shade or something.
You know, no, no
Something.
shade.
Oh, whoa, okay,
Only light. Sunshine out here. Okay.
okay,
Only light.
got you.
Only
All
light.
right, all right. I
Only
have a sense
light
of
and
humor.
orange juice.
I got sense of humor. I'm good.
Hmm. Yeah, we out of here. All right.
We out of here.
Make sure y'all support my sunshine endeavors over here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We out here. Getting our endeavors, follow us, sunshine. You know what I'm saying? Out here. Follow us, support us, sunshine. This is the spot right here. I seen Robert Townsend in an interview today. I'm hopeful. Okay. I'm hopeful. I'm gonna stop having all these bells and whistles. I'm gonna just be live on IG interviewing people all day on IG.
What do you mean, anybody?
Everybody.
Oh,
Not anybody. No, not
oh.
anybody. Someone could take that and be like, "Well, I heard you say anybody." No, no. I get emails from these motherfuckers all the time trying to. They've been trying for years to try to get an interview. You don't qualify,
Oh
devil.
my gosh. What?
Don't qualify.
Wet?
The
With
devil's
WHET, wet?
yeah, where it comes through.
Wet?
I
He did
think your
say wet.
platform is the platform we need to use for the. I mean, get the fuck out of here, devil. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. As we approach the God's bell. You know what I'm saying? I see in the building from Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? Before Capadonna said he was Staten Island's best. I'm gonna see what he got to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Did you take offense to that line? Like, nah, that's my sunshine. That's my sunshine. All of them my sunshine. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was the first one. You know what I'm saying? I was somebody's sunshine. Now everybody else my sunshine. I'm
I
gonna
was
get me
listening.
some barbecue. What you about to say?
Nothing.
You was listening to what?
I didn't say anything.
You said you was listening to what? What you about to say?
You hear everything. Oh my gosh. Um, I was
Okay,
listening.
radical.
I was listening to Nine today.
Hmm.
Nine. Yeah.
Peaked out.
And some Mike Geronimo. I think I was like in fourth grade, like literally when for some reason I'm thinking about fourth grade when fourth or fifth grade with Mike Geronimo for some reason.
Mike Geronimo was my shit.
For some reason, it's like I don't know. I have to go back and I mean, I'm just tripping probably.
I was preparing for that talent show. I remembered every little line of that song from Shit's Real. I had the Shit's Real version and the It's Real version in my head. I was ready.
And
That was my shit. That video, that
yeah,
shit was grimy and shit. That was my shit. I know that they get stepping through the belly of the beast. I leave my compound and make my way on the stop your ground. Just about broke to the letter. It can't get any worse. It could only get better. I'm burning lamp by my waistline. Turn around and we'll be fine. My brother's coming back and undefine. That was my shit. Yeah, I still remember that whole little rhyme right there. That was my shit.
what you want?
From crazy ass Queens, you know what I'm saying? He was better than Nas, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I forgot about MC8. That song was on Video Music Box. I just thought about it.
Which one?
That song that
Straight up
made him,
minute?
yeah, that one that made him famous over here on the East Coast. They played that
Yeah.
one song on there. Yep. I told you
It
it's
ain't
like
nothing but a Compton thing, y'all.
right. It was a lot of
And
West
we ain't
Coast.
nothing but niggas on the run. That was my shit. Matter of fact, that instrumental was the beat I wrote my first rap off of. Straight up minute.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That song made him famous. You know, put him on the map in the East Coast. I mean, I went and bought the single on the tape. I got the tape. I gotta find my tapes. Ain't like I can play them, but
You got the soundtrack? You bought the soundtrack or just that
no,
single?
just that. That's just that. Because they was selling them like that back then. You could just buy the
Ain't
single.
nothing but a Compton thing now. We ain't nothing but niggas on the run.
Huh?
Chia. Chia. People ain't say yeah during that time. They was like, chia. Oh, shit. Fucked up childhood. That joint, it was between that joint and On the Run. Coogee Rap,
Mm-hmm.
DJ Polo.
Mm-hmm.
I think I actually wrote to both of those beats. Two different raps. I remember that shit. Dun, 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 dun,
I'm
dun.
about to go listen to some Big Daddy Kane because I'm so smooth. I'm about to go listen to that. That song makes me happy. It makes me happy.
Cause I'm so
Hmm.
smooth.
It just makes me so happy. Yep.
Got the job with the mom making cheese,
The
doing some
video is
pickups,
funny.
deliveries, transporting keys. Yeah, they got me like a funky money. Killed that cracker. I was like, that was my shit.
Yep.
Said, wait, I want to talk. Pop, pop, pop. Put his brains on the sidewalk. None of life after waste.
I did see him at Symphony Hall. Yeah, he was there with some other rappers too, but I only went to go see Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane.
I was mad young.
I'm so smooth.
I
Was
needed.
Mad Young?
I was mad young. Yep. I look. That's right. You heard that right.
Yeah, I love that. Billy Dance was talking about doing the show at Symphony Hall. All that love he got in Newark. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Oh, they'll run. They'll run. It goes. That'll be sold out in a minute. You know, that happens.
Out there with my Newark Illustrated from downtown, my triple N nasty Newark nigga, you know what I'm saying? Shirt up there. All disgusting. Disgusting little ghetto bastard.
Mm-hmm. Dum, dum,
Mother did a mother had her motherfucker. Oh man. So I guess they're gonna have to wait till Sunday for this hip hop conversation because Afeni Shakur Trump's about to be doing the Running Man or the WAP. You gonna be listening to it during the WAP?
No, I'm gonna do what Big Daddy Kane did in the video. He's like he's bouncing with his boys, right? And then he crisscross his legs, and then he goes back down again. That one, that's that dance.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that one.
Yeah.
Not yeah, that one.
Yeah. I seen it as soon as you was describing it.
That one.
I gotta get Pies Cake back up here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give
Let me
it to
turn you on and excite you. Let me know the spot on the body and invite you. And if you're bad, what do you say? What do you say? If your man is a loser, I kick in like a turbo booster. If your man's your headache, I'll be your aspirin. All confusion, you know I solve it. What was it? Damn, we said we was leaving like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, we gotta bounce.
Hey, yo, what happened to peace?
Oh, you mean shalom?
Nah, Raquel bought on paid in full. Yo, what happened to peace?
Peace. Yeah.
Peace.
Absolutely. How could I? Oh man, how could I? Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
So what's the phrase that pays?
Shalom, y'all.